Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker, go by one who parks on Discord.
And this is Aaron, I go by Triffinwood on Discord.
Welcome back for another riveting episode. So anyone who is a weekly listener, one, we appreciate you. Two, you might have wondered what the hell is the matter with us by the kinds of pets we like.
I don't know. I felt like it was pretty accurate.
Yeah. So
I feel like Aaron
wanted
really
to...
knocked. Oh man,
God,
I can't talk.
dying?
I am dying. I am gonna try to pull through this podcast. Just give me a second. I'm gonna just take a step back. Here we go. Just continue talking.
That was weird. All right.
Okay. Yes, I fucking nailed it. That's all we need to know.
Yeah. So I was talking with Aaron before we started the podcast, talking about how I wish he had won Mojo last week because I thought Mountain Lion should have won. And then he said it was clearly the best type of pet. And that just made me think about like a sports analogy that is best is subjective because some people value best at for different reasons, right?
Sure. Some people like to keep a slug on their counter and call it a pet.
Exactly. So
who am I to say they're wrong? You're wrong.
What my point is, I don't think you could say Mountain Lion is the best pet is a factually wrong statement. It's just what do you consider to be the most important part of best? And so, like, is it the best as in, like, the coolest? Maybe. Is it the best as in, like, all these other reasons? Maybe. Is it the best because it's the most convenient to have? Probably not. So,
I mean, I can walk up to your slug and say, you're not the best fucking pet. Go jump off a cliff. I double dare you to say that to my mountain lion.
What if I say it in French?
Trilingual. You'd have to guess the third language, so that's on you. It's all risk-based.
Hopefully it's Hungarian.
Ooh, we were looking for Swahili. Swahili was the third language.
Is it Swahilian or is it Swahili?
My voice is back. I don't know what happened there. I think it's because my voice started this cast like my spirit started this cast. I am so out of it today, man. I'm here though. I'm here.
My
pull it together.
Spirit was also low, but then I saw you, Parker, and it's higher now.
Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I have been burning it at both ends, and I need to quit. It's 100% my decision. I'm responding to stress by like doing things that make it worse to handle the stress, and I need to just quit. And that's what it is. But we'll see.
Like responding to stress with procrastination, and you're just like, great, now I have even more stuff to do in less time.
It would be like that's a good example, but for me, it's sleep. Like when I feel like I get really stressed out, I feel like I need to gain back time by sacrificing sleep to do usually nerdy pursuits like playing video games and shit like that. And so like, and then of course, since I'm stressed out and then I give myself like 4 hours of sleep, I wake up the next day and hate the whole day, which makes me want to then, stay up late and play video games. It's a vicious cycle. I just got to break the cycle. And I'm going to start right now here in this podcast, breaking the cycle, getting positive. Let's do it.
So in my experience, I have a lot of experience not sleeping. So I would like to give you a nugget of information that I've had for a while. 4 hours of sleep is the worst amount of sleep to get. You either want 2 hours or 6 hours. Because if you don't get to the 6 line, you're going to be miserable. But if you only get 2, you'll be at least delirious enough to not care.
That's possible.
So if you just cut out enough sleep, you stop caring.
Yeah. Like 4 is just enough to trick your body.
4 is just enough to feel like you did sleep. Like I put in the effort to sleep. I dedicated this large block of time, and I still feel like shit. Like, well, you might as well feel like shit and have more time.
You're right. But yeah, I'm gonna shake it. Because I'm really excited. That's the other thing. Like nothing bad has happened. I've just been really busy, and so when I put myself in this state, it makes me kind of upset also, which, kind of like the procrastination thing, like you get upset because you waited to do it. Because I have so many like exciting things going on right now, ways I want to spend my time when I have free time. And right now, when I have free time, I just feel terrible. See, this is good therapy. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. Feel good.
Cool. So, in the media section for today, I have rewatched almost all of Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah,
That show is really good.
it is very good.
I think anyone who hasn't done a full rewatch is like robbing themselves. It's so much better the second time through.
I probably should watch it again all the way through because I watched it with such an enormous temporal distance between I think season
Yeah.
2 and season 3. Like I think I watched season 1 and 2, and then in Japanese like 3 years
Yeah.
or 4 years before I watched the other seasons.
Mhm.
So I picked it back up and I remember the names of the characters because they're pretty great. But I was like,
but there's so
I
much
probably
complicated shit going on in the middle there that's like, what the fuck's happening?
I'm pretty
And that's
sure
kind of where I
would
was
get
too.
better. Yeah.
I watched like all of season 3, and the whole time I'm just going, oh no, it was season 4, and the whole time I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, because there's like a 3-year time skip, and
Right.
all these weird plot lines are developing very quickly
Mhm.
because they're trying to get the show done with because they only had one season to wrap it up. And there's like all these people, they all have like their own motivations, and half of them look the same. I'm like, I don't remember who's from where and what's going on because it just been so long since I'd seen the show.
Right.
It was the seasons were like years apart. And so I'm just, for spoiler alert, I'm at the Rumbling. The Rumbling has just started. So I only have like 2 or 3 episodes left. And there's a whole plot line that I missed with Sasha, the girl who likes food.
Right.
And who she's like a fan favorite character, I think.
Yeah.
But there's a whole subplot line that goes on with her and like where she's from and like stuff that plays out later in the show. And it was so well done, and I didn't remember any of it. Like I was like, I don't even remember this like the unveiling of like the big reveal at the end. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even remember this happened at all.
Yeah.
And so I'm very happy I rewatched it. But there's when you first watch it, because it's one of those shows that really hides what's going on from you for the entire show. Basically, it's like
Right.
you get just enough to stay interested. You're not sure what the fuck's going on, but once you've seen the whole thing, you know what's going on.
Mhm.
Watching it again, they put so many little Easter eggs in there. And if you watch it knowing what's going on, everything makes perfect sense the whole time. And
Right.
you don't like it's so cleanly written that way that it's like with the right information, everything that's happening makes sense. And in the moment, you're like, this is so weird and confusing. I have no idea what's going on.
Mhm.
And so I really like the way that it did that.
Yeah, there's something. Television is one of those things that because it's so hard as like a writing team to commit to a saga, because the chances of your show actually being fully funded for the duration you would need to finish it means there's very little like money, but also just like creative investment in a good story that has that kind of stuff like Easter eggs littered throughout. Because most of the time when you're building those things, you're kind of building the plane as you fly it because you don't know if you're going to run out of gas in season 3. So it is really cool when a studio or a creative team has the ability to go, we're going to make 5 seasons of this, or we're going to make 6 seasons of this. Like we have the okay to do that. So let's build the long game. Let's make something that, like you said, it has rewatchability because somebody will be able to come back to the plot and realize how many things were laid down.
Yeah. And it's obviously easier to commit to an anime, I think, because any anime can get made nowadays. It's so fucking easy because there's so many garbage ones out there that are not worth being produced. They're getting made.
I don't know what it is about. You're right. It seems like there's so much schlock, right? Just like so much just like generic nonsense. But there's no way that animation studios are not feeling the insane crunch that every other kind of production studio is feeling, right? Like there's got to be not enough animators and not enough people actually physically building the stuff, because maybe that's just like American systems, because I know American animation studios are insanely overworked, like the individuals actually building the stuff. And so maybe in Japan they're not experiencing that, but you're right. It does seem like they can make, I was reincarnated as a pickle that flies only on Mars on Sundays. Like that's the name of the
exactly
show.
what I'm actually looking up right now.
Yeah.
There's a category on Crunchyroll that's just like silly long names, and that's the genre of anime. Is just that it's got the longest fucking dumbass name.
Yeah. And
here's one. This is the one that makes me just. This one makes me know that there's no hope for humanity. The name of this anime is Reborn as a Vending Machine, comma, Now I Wander the Dungeon. It's just like, how the fuck did this get made? Yeah. Here's one. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too. Like, that's not the name of a show, you fucking crazy people.
Yeah.
And so I know it's like satire at this point. They're making fun of like their own thing, but oh my god, it's so crazy. And so when you have something actually good being made, you can guarantee it's going to get finished. And it seems like some of the
I don't know. Like, I feel like these shows are all of them are people who are making these planning on only making one season because of they understand it's a gimmick. Like, what I'm saying is, if it's like a Shonen Jump, right, where there's already like a huge, an enormous story already set out kind of for you, right, and you're just mostly animating that enormous story that somebody already made and somebody's already, done, then I can see there being a really clear goal by a production team to say, we're going to make 7 seasons because it'll take us 7 seasons to do these 14 books that somebody already wrote and everybody loves. But if it's like you said, I was reincarnated in a vending machine and now I crawl in a dungeon, was that just one guy's crazy idea? He's going to make 1 season of it ever. He never expects to make more because of how stupid this is. It's amazing he even got away with the first season.
So I don't know specifically about that because I don't watch it. But the vast majority of the animes are based on mangas, which are comics that have been read for a while.
Right.
But the production cost of producing an animated show versus like even an actual anime, not just a cartoon, but over like an actual TV show, it's like nothing in comparison. Like, you just need to get a group of artists to agree to draw the show, and at 60 frames a second is not that crazy because so much of it is just reused. And now with like AI, a lot of shows are using AI assisted animation where it's like you're doing way less manual labor.
Yeah.
And so it's like you start a GoFundMe, you have a TV show immediately. Like, it doesn't take much. Not to mention there's the trend of anime watchers versus like regular people is they will just watch crazy amounts of anime. And so getting the audience isn't that hard. Like, if you just put the stuff on the internet, they'll watch it. It's kind of like YouTube. Like, you don't have to do all this crazy advertising. You're not fighting for air rights. Like, you're not going across, what do they call that? The ratings when like they put you up against like other primetime shows. It's like you're not fighting for ratings. You just put it on the internet. They watch whenever they want.
Oh, I would be shocked if people who make anime didn't also care about the performance of their show. Like,
well, they do. It's just you don't have to pay for advertising. You just upload it to Crunchyroll.
Yeah. But they do advertise, though. Like, but they do.
Some of the big ones do. But a lot of the commercials are more like, hey, this is when the show is going to be available. Like, there was a bunch of effectively commercials that were ads that started coming out right now because they're like, hey, the final season of My Hero is being animated right now. It'll be out in October. And you're like, and everybody loses their minds. Like, but like, it's not trying to get people to watch it. It's just, informing them what
hype.
Will be on.
Yeah, I get there's like internet hype. Also, there's something going on here, which I know I have a huge limitation, which is a lot of these are made in another country and in another culture, and they might be experiencing this stuff completely differently than I am here. Right?
Yeah, I would expect so.
I'm guessing that the import that I'm receiving is not the same. It's the same product functionally, but it's a very different vehicle culturally, probably. So, I realize that I'm making all these comments with no context of the cultures and nation that is building it. So this might be a totally different thing in Japan. People in Japan might experience and be exposed to anime in a very different way than I am. So we'll see. I say we'll see. I want to see one day. I would actually like to go spend some time in Japan. And that's one of the curious questions I have is like, how are these people like consuming the media that I appreciate from Japan? Because I appreciate a lot of media from Japan. So how are they consuming it? It'd be interesting to find out.
So yeah. What have you guys watched lately?
I hit a milestone. And that milestone is we finished Game of Thrones. Because we've been sitting on the last season for about a year. And the last season is only 6 episodes, right? trying to get my wife and son together to finish this has been a painstaking endeavor, mainly because my wife works about 85 hours a week. But we did it, and moved right on to The Walking Dead. We have 31 episodes to go, which is all of season 11 and like the last 6 or so episodes of season 10. So finished Game of Thrones, are going to knock out Walking Dead, and that makes me very happy because we've been doing these for years without obviously conviction.
Yeah. How do you feel about how Walking Dead is going right now?
It's fine. There are a bunch of characters you don't really care about. We just got to the end of the Whisperer War, and I don't know where it's trying to set us up for the next season. But every season has something interesting in the beginning, about 5 dead episodes, and then it sets something up for the end of the fall season, whatever that's called, the mid-season finale. And it would then keep that going through the spring season, and then there'd be 5 or 6 completely dead episodes of, we'll call it character development, but it's really nothing. And then 5 or 6 good ones at the end as it led up to the finale. So Whisperer War was the end of the spring fun, if you will, and now there's just going to be a couple dead episodes. So since it's been months or years since we have even watched it, I don't even remember where everyone in the cast is supposed to be at, like in the world right now.
Yeah.
So we're just going to watch it for the for finishing its sake, if you will, and then we'll have freedom. Then we can watch whatever we want as a family.
Freedom.
So I have to say it. This is your first time finishing Game of Thrones, or did you do it yourself and then go back with your family?
I did not. Nope. So just because I was deployed at the time when it was being finished, so I knew how it ended. I did not know the specifics of how it got there, just from office talk. So it's a little weird. I wasn't shocked, but my wife was not happy. But she wasn't like throwing curious. Shit at the TV happy.
Okay, sure. So this is actually really interesting because the vitriol for the end of this show is so thick and still, like at this point, so many years ago, it has hardened to a thick layer. I think of it kind of like the elephant's foot on fantasy television. It's just like this giant, terrible like thing that sits there and it's a big eyesore, radiating negativity on the internet yet still. So knowing that, like already living in that world, what was it like to watch it for the first time, understanding the ire that everyone has for the end of this show?
I think the ire is misplaced.
Okay.
Not that they did a fantastic job of finishing it, but at the end of the day, I don't know. Like, what did people want? Like this white knight into the sunset bullshit? I already thought the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones was very lackluster, and by that I mean the first out of X many seasons. I guess we're 8. So I don't know when it became a little ho-hum, but it was definitely shock value in the beginning, right? All the way up to Red Wedding, stuff like that. People were just, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. And then at a certain point, literally no one you care about ever dies again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of a sudden everyone acquires plot armor, and it's really consistent.
I think, they had the inverse of plot armor at the beginning. If you liked them, they were going to die.
That's what I meant. Like what you said, it was incredibly consistently no one is sacred.
Everyone that you like, we kill, and then we kill. We refuse to kill people you like.
Right. And then on, it's like C level and D level characters are the only ones who die, and who gives a shit.
Yep. And so at that point, I didn't know it at the time, but looking back on it, that's when it kind of lost its luster, right? But it had been long enough. I'm very much a completionist, so unless I am actively hating watching something, it's not that much of a chore for me to sit through it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Is I think they flipped the script on why they were writing, and maybe it has to do with the author as opposed to the producers. Maybe it's collaboration between them. I don't know, but
also there is. Sometimes I wonder how much a production team, right, like somebody who has no business writing a script, is influencing it. Because if somebody says, like, people love this character, and this character, like, we can't kill Daenerys Targaryen, even if we wanted to, or if it would be important to the story, we can't do it because people love her. People love Jon Snow. It's just, it tests well, right? These characters that end up testing well, people, treat them sacredly. I wonder sometimes if that is why, like you said, around season 4 and 5, and instead of ever having fatal consequences for actions, they were always exile this, punish that, have to go the long way around, have to go to this other city. Like, it was, all the punishments were just more time, and that's when it definitely felt more ho-hum, when characters were just traveling across Westeros and then the other continent. And then you're like, yeah, sure. When does anything bad actually happen to anybody? And then everything bad kind of happened to some people in the last 45 seconds. It felt like it was just like all of a sudden, no,
kind of,
over. Kind of, but
so,
not really. Yeah.
After John, I guess I'll talk
Spoiler
around. These
alert.
people haven't
Spoiler
really.
alert.
After he does his deed in the last episode, or second to last, right?
It's the last one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
He doesn't die.
No.
What the fuck? They're sitting there literally executing people on their knees, like the previous scene, and like, oh, you just killed our queen. We're just gonna lock you up. What the fuck? They would have immediately gutted him in the square.
Right.
So yeah. I don't love how it ended, but whatever. I don't. It's fine. Oh, the best line of the entire series is uttered by Bran in the last episode. This little weakling, pathetic person throughout. Actually, I take that back. He really wasn't. Like, he was not a weakling. He was just an invalid. But his look of smugness when he says, I wouldn't have come this way. I forget exactly what he said, but bottom line is, I wouldn't have come all this way if I wasn't.
Yeah.
I cracked up. Oh,
yeah.
I had so much respect for either him or the writing team or whatever, but that was perfect. This invalid who does nothing the entire time is like, yeah, damn straight, put that fucking crown on, let's go.
Yeah. The show I think was, I'd give it like a strong A- overall. And then the conclusion, I would say, was just, like you said, it felt like some characters got things they didn't earn, all the way around. Like, some characters earned life that didn't seem like they earned. They got life, but they didn't earn it. They got death, but didn't earn it. Like, there's a bunch of that going around at the very end.
Do you think there's any chance that was supposed to be a statement about how, like, the world is, or do you think it was just, and maybe they failed at executing it, or do you think it's just like they had no idea what they were doing?
I think this is probably a factor of like production schedule and budget and trying to fit things on screen.
Too many hats.
I bet a book would probably, if you told me in a magical world in which I could forget that the show existed as it did and just read the final book as it was, and all the exact same things happened, I could imagine a world in which that book did justice to a lot of these things, right? Like you said, made it more obvious why the characters earned these different ends, or how the author was trying to say that it's not about earning. One of my favorite stories ever for that is No Country for Old Men, because that story is really about the randomness of fate, right? Like, everybody in that movie lives and dies based purely on like fate and die rules, and the main antagonist personifies this, kind of like he does the Two-Face thing where he flips a coin. And the most amazing scene in that movie is the final scene. Spoiler alert: at the very end of the movie, you think the movie is over. You think the movie is over, and the main antagonist has a random terrible accident. There's no reason. Like, it's not supposed to be his justice. He just has a random terrible accident. And again, the whole point of the movie is bad things just happen, right? Like, you can't control it. I did not get that. It was it wasn't super obvious watching No Country for Old Men, but a reader or a watcher could watch it and go, oh wow, that's what an interesting thing they're trying to say. I didn't see that in Game of Thrones. I didn't see like the idea that, the Game of Thrones is a game of chance, and when you roll a bad dice, you just come up dead. Most of the characters got quote unquote a deserved or an earned fate. At least that was pretty consistent, I felt like, which is often the case for sagas. But
go ahead.
So I've said multiple times I've never read these books, but I think the way I perceive it from outside looking in without specifics is it seemed like Martin or his book's writing style got really famous because he doesn't hold characters sacred, like everyone's vulnerable to death or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you said, like once it gets going and it gets into the later sections, there's not enough characters left that people care about to be able to kill any of them like warrantless like he did in the beginning. And so it feels like, he kind of just ran out of characters that he could kill. Is from an outsider looking in, but
that's
just an observation.
That could absolutely be possible.
I just know that in a lot of books or series, TV, most of the time it's the good guys are going to triumph, and that from the beginning, like Lord of the Rings, right? The reason that's good is not because of I wonder what's going to happen. It's because of the journey to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with again, pick your whatever series you want to talk about. Wheel of Time, same thing. And it seemed like Martin turned that on its head and said, you have no clue who's going to end up where. And that was great and fantastic until he stopped doing that.
Yeah.
The last episode where the Hound faces his brother, I was like, I already know how this is going to end. He's going to sacrifice himself in some way to kill his brother. They're both going down. And sure enough, that happened. When I know what Game of Thrones is going to do, that's when they failed. You can't plant your flag in the first couple of seasons and be like, we're the anti-show, and then all of a sudden morph into the show. That's what I think, looking back on it, now that you made me think about it, made me more ho-hum toward the end. Anyway, enough about Game of Thrones.
I was going to change. I am rewatching Netflix's Castlevania, and after I get done with this, I'm going to watch the new Castlevania Nocturne. But I don't think they're done with it yet. I need to look up actually if they are, because I did something really weird. The internet tried to get me to watch Castlevania for like 6 years while they were making it, and I just politely refused until all of a sudden I realized that all 4 seasons were done, and so I watched them all just straight. You want to talk about like a wonderful experience? I am really sad for anyone who had to wait between those seasons, because man, that would have sucked, because it was so much fun to watch them all back to back. So if Nocturne is not done, I'm going to look it up, but if Nocturne is not done, then I'm going to wait because I want to have Castlevania again like that. But
that's what happened to me, is I got lost in between seasons. I just never picked it back up.
Yeah. Castlevania is a tremendously strong 4-act play. I am oversimplifying it, but they really did a good job of making it feel like just an epic saga in a play. And there's a couple. I don't know who just did the simple soundtrack for that show, but god damn, sometimes the Castlevania like song starts playing in one of the action sequences, and I get goosebumps every time, because it's just such a super simple like overture, but man, it is so dramatic. It might be one of my favorite scores from any television show ever. It sounds so good whenever the 3 of them are just like leaping up to kill a bunch of vampires and demons and shit, and that song starts playing, and you're like, oh my god, this is gonna be so awesome. And it does not disappoint. It never disappoints. Aaron, I know you're not a fan of anime, but this show is not anime. It's drawn, I think it's by a Korean company. So it has like an anime style-ish, but it was made for Castlevania, right? So it's not. I don't even know. I'm guessing you can get it in other languages, but I think it was done originally in English. So, would you watch something like Castlevania, even though it's animated?
I would give it a couple episodes. I'll give anything a couple episodes.
Okay, I think you would really like it.
Okay, on Netflix.
I think you would like it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you'd like Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
You talk about a show that's not afraid of killing characters.
That's true, but I don't know how much you'd like Attack on Titan. It feels very anime. Castlevania is
100%. Attack on Titan is an anime. It's a hardcore anime, but
it
is. It's not the typical talk about your feelings and like heroes always win. It's a very dark, grim anime where it has a lot of political overtones to it.
Castlevania is dark fantasy, just like 101. Just like super, like awesome dark fantasy. The first scene of the first episode got me hooked so hard. I'm not even going to start to describe what it is.
Okay.
I think you will love it as soon as you watch it. I'm excited to find out what you think. It's not action packed. It's a very chill scene, but it's awesome.
I have 1 day of free time, so we'll see.
It's not a super long show either. It's not a like I think I watched it in like 2 or 3 weeks. It doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's like 6 to 10 episodes a season, something like that.
Yeah, it's not a super long show.
I just know Path of Exile 2's update is launching on Friday, and I might get lost in that for a while.
Nice.
Okay, now you get to tell me because I really enjoyed Path of Exile when I played it a couple times, but honestly, none of the character classes that I tried really bit, and I knew I knew when I was looking at the talent trees and weapon options, there was like 12 I couldn't even try. So I know this new one isn't a new class. So what is their like timeline? Because has it been out for a year now? Has it been over a year? I can't remember when it came out.
It came out in I think
it was
late
last summer.
November.
November.
It was over the Christmas holiday. So November of 2024.
So not even
their goal was to release in 2025. I will tell you that is not going to happen.
Yeah, I was going to say they've only released like one extra class, right?
Correct, one extra class. There's one that could have been released this patch, but they chose to focus on really what was a tremendous quality of life improvement. And this makes sense. I think there was a lot of feedback from the population that says your game just isn't fun. Like no one wanted to take a character and grind because it was the campaign was a slog. They was getting from A to B. Like now I want to do that with another guy. Like no man, it takes like 3 times longer than it did in Path of Exile 1. People just weren't happy. Issues with endgame. Like the complaints went on and on. Not that it is a bad piece of shit game, but it definitely wasn't really sucking people into wanting to play as much as they had thought it would. Both the populace and then the devs. So this patch is all about fixing that. The underlying, let's picture a game as a road, right? And then adding lanes would be like you're adding characters. But the road had potholes and was crumbling. So you know what? We're not going to add lanes. We're going to fix the road. And we're going to make the road to where people want to drive on it. And then when that's all fixed and the process is there, then they'll start adding lanes. And so they took development assets, like people, away from fine-tuning that character that's damn near ready, and then they said, hey, we're going to put it on fixing the road first. And so that's what they did, was that they made this entire patch is on fixing the base game to make it the best it can be, and then they'll expand it once they fix that, is I think the philosophy. And I think I can get behind that.
Okay. It looks like I just looked it up, and the class I was waiting for was the one it sounds like maybe that they were going to release.
Druid. Yep.
Druid, yeah.
Yep.
So
I would highly anticipate that the Druid will be in the next patch.
Okay.
They did not say it because they are very good about not promising anything. Very good, which is, as a company, they're giving hints that the Druid should have been this patch and therefore almost definitely will be the next one, but they haven't come out and said it. So, go ahead.
It sounds like with a patch this robust that you're so excited for, there's going to be a ton of stuff. Could you give me like one highlight of something you're like, yes, this I'm going to play this because this.
Number 1, asynchronous trade. Trading in Path of Exile has always been an issue. You had to message someone. If they were online, they had to accept your invite. They had to stop what they were doing, go back to their hideout, pull something out of their stash. You would meet them in their hideout. You would then open up a trade box. You'd trade shit, and then you would leave the party. They'd go back to their map that they were doing. It was, number 1, very inconvenient when you were playing. They have to stop your playing to go give someone an item. And number 2, the number of, not scammers, but people who set artificially low prices and just ignore when you are trying to sell something or buy something. Like EJ had this problem. A lot of people did, hey, I just want to, there's this cheap thing I need for my build. Like he's just starting out. He doesn't have a lot of money. And he'd like message 10 people and none of them would respond. It's super frustrating. Yeah. Now it's all gone away.
Can you explain why people were doing that to the people that don't understand?
Sure. So let's pretend like these, someone wants to artificially set the price of these good boots to, let's say 100 gold when they should be 1,000 gold. Well, no one's going to sell them for 100 except people like me who are like, what does this sell for? And I look, cheapest one on sale, 100. And so I message in general chat, selling these boots for 100 gold. And then this guy just buys them. right? When the actual price is 1,000, but he has boots that he has set to sell for 100, and that's what shows up in the search window. And maybe he and his 4 buddies all have boots set for 100, so it looks like there's a dozen people, and that it is actually selling for 100, but none of them are actually selling.
Yeah,
it's all
because it's not a monitored auction house. It's
Correct.
just people posting on a forum, basically.
Right, and so they don't have to put their money where their mouth is, so they can just
Correct.
lie.
And
the
now
other thing people were doing is they would just take all their stuff and list it for like 100 gold. And if one item got more than like 10 responses, they'd up it to 200 gold. And then they would just use that to find the market.
Yep.
And you're wasting everyone's time doing that. And
yeah,
so
I got a bunch
because no one's moderating it.
Yeah. So now if you go and you throw
they just put everything up for 10 gold, and you're like, well, then I got 100 messages in 5 minutes, so that should probably be 1,000 gold. And so now I relisted it 1,000. You're like, you just wasted all those people's time. It's like, this sounds like a great way to piss people off.
Yep.
Wow.
So again, just from a quality of life perspective, that's amazing. Now the other person doesn't have to be online. I go to their hideout. I take the shit out of their stash, and it's done.
And you leave the money.
And I leave. Yep. Whatever it is sold for, I can exchange whatever they're selling for whatever they want for it. They don't have to be online.
It's not an auction house?
It's not an auction house.
They just do trading.
Yeah.
So you
go... So basically, you just pre-approve a trade, and anyone can come in and fulfill it later.
I see.
It's effectively the same as an auction house, except you actually have to go to their treasure box and pull it out. You don't go to a communal auction house or whatnot.
Sure.
I don't understand why they don't just do an auction house.
That seems really
shortcut a lot of stuff.
that seems.
But
really strange.
I don't know
why I think they do it. So this is a free to play game, not currently. Once it releases, it will be. But at its core, it's a free to play game. They only make money through microtransactions that are non-pay to win. It's all about do you want your fireball to have a cool explosion at the end of it or something to that effect. And so a lot of people who have supported the game take the coins that you get for supporting the game and they'll buy it for hideout upgrades. Like they'll make their hideout look really cool because that's where you spend a lot of time just chilling as you're doing research and thinking about your build. And so if I have to go to your hideout and be, oh, this looks cool as shit. Now maybe I'm going to want to spend some of those coins on microtransactions. That's the thought anyway. I don't know if it's correct. But regardless, asynchronous trade, huge quality of life. I could go through the patch notes for the other. Every single thing they did was to make the game faster and more fun. Weapon swap is immediate. You don't have to replay the campaign at a higher difficulty. They added a 4th act, which will be cool new content, and then 3 mini acts to get you to endgame to tide us over until the acts 5 and 6 are actually done. Yeah. Without going through the actual patch notes, which you don't want to hear. They made the game better. Bottom line. That's what they did with this patch.
Cool. The addition of that much content is like interesting. I thought it was all going to be like mechanics and efficiency, resource management, that kind of stuff, which is kind of like the new way to buy things like you said. But I did not expect like new acts. That's cool.
Yep. There's a new act, but a lot of what you're talking about, we need to rebalance all the classes to make sure that people can pick whatever you want and it feels good.
Oh, really? They're readjusting a lot of classes.
They did a huge balance pass to all of the classes. Other than like 1 or 2 builds that were overpowering, every other build just got buffed.
Wow, that's cool.
In meaningful ways, like Blood Mage. Like in the end game, you had let's take Breach is a mechanic in the end game where it opens a rift and monsters pour out and you kill the monsters. And you got that each end game mechanic has its own separate tree. So let's pretend like I wanted to invest in Breach. I would have to go kill the Breach boss to get 2 points to put into this tree. Well, how do you get to the Breach boss? You need to get these little splinters that drop. You collect enough of them, you can finally get to them. Well, it takes a while to get enough splinters to kill the boss the first time. And what's the first level up you take in this tree? The level up that says drop more splinters. So the ramp up, right? And it was like that for every one of them. So it's incredibly difficult to be able to kill the boss the first time. It just takes forever to be able to do it. and then you do it, and then it ramps up. And then at end game, once you've grinded for hundreds of hours, shit is on fire, right? Then it's good. But no one wants to spend 300 hours to get to that point. So now they're like, you know what? That makes sense. So as soon as you hit a certain level or a certain like mini quest, but way earlier in the game, we're automatically going to give you your first 2 points. So we're going to give you with your foot halfway down the accelerator. So, and you can still pick which points you want to go to. Like you don't have to pick the one that gives more splinters, but we're at least going to give you a step up. And then incentives for fighting bosses earlier as opposed to later. I won't get into the specifics, but bottom line, a huge quality of life, make the game more fun patch update that I'm really excited for.
Cool. I'm really excited that that's the game I'll be playing whenever Druid shows up. I'll probably still be waiting for that, but I'm excited that it will be a better version of the game. I like that.
I hope that the Druid class does come out in the next patch and that it's terrible.
Ooh.
I know that's what you want from me, but I don't care. I'm going to.
It's not for you. It's just Druids are stupid, and that no one should want to play Druids.
I know that like D&D Druids are like not. There's. I know there are a couple ways to break them, but you don't want to. You don't want to see a Druid in your RPG experience.
That's correct. Druids are dumb.
I enjoy them. I think they're cool.
So, last piece of media for me is I recommend anyone who likes the Dexter TV show to check out Dexter Resurrection. I've been following it. I think the first season's starting to wrap up, and it's been pretty good so far. Not as good as like Prime Dexter, but better than most of the not Prime Dexter. So it's probably like, I don't know, 8 out of 10 for Dexter. Considering the show is like 25 years old at this point. Like it's very odd that they resurrected the show and it's working.
I wonder if this is the same original creative team or not. I'd be interested to know.
That's a good question. I don't know. Because the original writer left the show after season 4. It is not the original writer. So Parker, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I once confused the words jacuzzi and yakuza, and now I'm in hot water with the Japanese mafia.
The fact that this is coming so like out of nothing, I saw it coming a mile away. However, I welcomed it with open arms because that was good. That was strong.
That was that one. That's one of my favorites.
That was an old friend. That was good. I like that. I appreciate that.
Let's go ahead and jump into Mojo World this week. All right, so this week on Mojo, we're doing crime procedurals. Based on how we did last week, I will be going last. And I think Parker and Aaron, did you tie? No. Aaron beat Parker. So Parker will be going first. Typical Parker go first rule.
Yep. If you lose hard enough, you always get what you want.
Yep.
That's what we learned from Snake Draft. I'm going to go with A number 1. This is the only one I have like watched in the modern era is Sherlock. I really like Sherlock. Big fan.
Sherlock was very good. I liked it a lot. Apparently there's like a whole novel series that it's based on.
Yeah, I heard of that too. Oh shit. You heard of this Sherlock guy? Has anyone heard of this Sherlock guy?
All right, Aaron, you're up. This is your moment.
My moment? We're going to go with Castle.
Oof. Castle. I watched a lot of Castle back in the day. I think the moment I quit being like super interested in Castle was when they defused a nuclear weapon. I was just like, okay, guys, maybe dial this back a little bit. This guy is a like romance writer or something. Like, why is he defusing nuclear bombs?
Because he wants to.
Because he wants to. It's like, okay.
Yep.
Alrighty. All right, so I got back-to-backs here. I'm obviously taking Dexter as my number 1.
Okay, so is that a procedural?
Yeah, they solve crimes, and he works at a police station.
But aren't his crimes all the crimes? Like, we know...
No. They have you not watched the show?
No, I've watched the show, but
okay.
like...
They don't generally solve his crimes.
Right, but
He just has a second job where he kills people.
That's true, but I mean, it's
So,
correct me if I'm wrong, because
yeah.
it has been many years since I saw it. But I feel like he doesn't have to do a lot of detective work because oftentimes he kind of uses his dark passenger to help him figure out how it's happening. It seems like there's never a lot of drama about. It's usually about the drama's about the hunt. It's not about figuring out who done it because he figures it out pretty fast.
Yeah, but like he uses like skill to figure out who killed the person.
Right.
And so like he obviously had a lot of training from his dad who was a detective for like 30 years. And then also he went to like forensic school to do blood spatter analysis and stuff. So like he has basically like 35 years of police experience, which is why he figures out who did it. And a lot of times the precinct will figure out who did it too, but they can't prove it. It's like we don't have the evidence we need to convict this guy, so he goes free, and then Dexter kills him. Is usually what's happened.
I suppose I also remember
sometimes he'll throw the case, like he'll hide evidence so the guy does get away,
right,
so that he can go kill him.
You're right. And I guess that's the thing I remember is a lot of it is Dexter finding a way to kill people is really like the point of the show is like the puzzle is not how do I find out who done it or how do I prosecute them or how do I convict them. It's how do I kill them and get away with it. And I know in later seasons it becomes entirely about how do I get away with it and less about who done it because we usually know who done it really early on in the season and then we have to wait to eventually get the payoff. So that I guess I'll give it to you. Early Dexter is definitely, there's a killer of the week, and that's who you're watching him get. Sure.
Try to remember what I picked last time. Go with Fringe. I know we've done this category before.
Ish, right?
Yeah, I think it was slightly different last time we did it. It was cop shows, but. All right, so I have Dexter and Fringe. Aaron, you're up again.
Bones.
I've not seen that one. That's on my short list of police procedurals to watch.
Every time I hear of Bones, I think I've never watched an episode. I just remember the scene in Rick and Morty where there's the alternate universe Bones called Ass.
Yeah, they only solve ass crimes.
Yeah.
That one's interesting in that the protagonist. I don't remember what her actual job title is. Bone Lady is just she's the Sheldon Cooper before Sheldon Cooper was a thing. Mm-hmm. Except she does it in a very cute way.
Okay, cool. I thought the guy was called Bones.
No,
is it the girl?
It's the girl.
Okay,
yeah.
The girl's called Bones.
Yeah,
I've never seen it, obviously, but okay, cool. Parker, your final two picks.
I'm gonna go with Psych, which is the only. I really like Psych, but it's the only one I ever watched at all of those that like subgenre of like dramedies, right? There were some dramedies.
Psych is good, yeah. Psych is good.
And the last one is I'm going downtown to hanging out with my dad because he loves police procedural. We're gonna go with NYPD Blue. I watched me a lot of NYPD Blue.
Oh boy! All right, Aaron, final pick.
Rizzoli and Isles.
Oh my God! Spell it. I'll ravioli and ziles. Got it. Ravioli.
It's actually spelled exactly like it sounds. There's two. I think there's two Z's, and that's it.
I'll look it up later.
Rizzoli and Isles.
It's exactly as it sounds. Rizz.
Yep. OLI and Isles. ISLES. That's because Angie Harmon has been on my laminated 5 ever since I was about 14. And she'll never leave.
Okay. All right. I'm going to sneak one past the goalie here. We're going to go with The Blacklist.
That is not a crime procedural.
It definitely is. He works with the FBI.
No.
They solve
that is like the opposite of a procedural. That is a serial.
Right,
veto.
No. Fine.
I'm seconding that veto.
Veto.
No.
All right. Bird Notice?
Haven't seen it, so I can't veto it. But I still want to.
It's a spy show.
Yeah, so they're like vigilante spies.
are they solving crimes?
There's not a lot. There's not a lot of investigation that happens, but they do try to do. They do break into a lot of people's houses.
No,
I think that should count.
No,
fine.
That would be like saying House is like a crime procedural.
It is. They commit many crimes, in fact, many felonies.
No, it's not. It's
I'm not saying all right, fine. So then I'm gonna go with I guess the Rookie. The Rookie's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite show, but as far as police procedurals go, it's fun.
Yeah.
Mainly, I like the characters.
Yeah, I was like Nathan Fillion, like really brings it home in this show. Like he does a really good job.
So that's why a lot of people start watching it, and he's fine in it. Like he definitely doesn't detract at all. He's a plus. But I actually like all the other characters too, like Cho and I forgot the sergeant's name. Damn it, Bradford. I like Bradford a lot. Anyway, a lot of the characters are interesting and likable, and so they do a good job. All right, honorable mentions. I'll throw out Lie to Me. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I like Lie to Me. That was fun.
iZombie, incredibly good and underrated. You know it.
I'll give you underrated. It's like a lot of people think it's complete trash. It's only just okay.
The best show CW has ever put out by a landslide.
I just think it's funny that the things you absolutely loved about the show are things I didn't like about the show. It was like when she's like, I'm making this kind of food, I could not give a fuck less. It's like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Aaron's like, this is amazing television.
Yep. Lucifer is another one that merited our top 9.
Yeah. Oh man, I should have said Lucifer. I did forget it.
Lucifer.
I like that show too.
A show that I don't. Would you put True Detective on this list?
I haven't seen it, or I would have.
Okay, because I didn't. I kind of hesitated because it's more like it's kind of like it's almost like a mini series, right? So it doesn't feel quite the same as a procedural. It feels more like a mini series, but I feel like it's close. A one that I've dabbled in, another dramedy is Monk. I've enjoyed the episodes of Monk that I've seen. I just haven't seen very many. And the other super classic that I didn't pick because I don't remember it very well, I just remember watching every episode with my dad, is In the Heat of the Night. I don't know if any of you guys could remember an episode of In the Heat of the Night, but
never heard of it.
Literally, as soon as you said, let's do procedurals, I went, oh, like In the Heat of the Night. but
I would not have known what you meant. Yeah.
But as soon as I thought that, I did just like typed it in, like In the Heat of the Night. Like, can I conjure up some of those memories when I was probably like 7 years old? And no, I couldn't. I was like, well, then I probably shouldn't say it. But I remember watching my dad love that show. I remember NYPD Blue though. I remember that show.
Blind Spot was worth watching, but not my top 3.
Aaron, just go and read your list here, and you're good.
Luther is a very good English one. It is not in the same vein. It's much more. It's deeper, right?
That's what Idris Elba.
Yeah, it's a serious type one as opposed to the humor based ones that I prefer. But I did like Luther.
Quickly talking about British shows, Mobland has been really good. I've been watching that. It's with Tom Hardy and Pierce Brosnan. Last honorable mentions here. Blue Bloods was fine. It wasn't particularly good, but I'll put up with 20 minutes of okay episode for 5 minutes of Tom Selleck, so it's fine.
Yeah, Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck as like old police detective is pretty great.
Yeah.
Parker likes Psych, obviously, because it's a good show. Have you ever seen The Mentalist?
I think I've only seen clips. I don't think I've ever watched a whole episode.
I did.
It is the show that Psych is basically based on. And there's a lot of like funny jokes that they kind of both make at each other because the shows are basically the same. They're running around the same time. But anyway, main character plays a former stage psychic, and he's retired. He gave up being a fake psychic because psychic is fake, and then he joins a police detective, and they helps them solve crimes. And they're after this notorious serial killer throughout the show. And those episodes are really fun, but the rest of the show is pretty boring. But it's mainly just about the character being silly. Yeah, Psych is just better Mentalist, so you watched the correct one. Good job.
Yeah. Psych has a lot of good, like the repartee is good, the snark is fun, and the on-screen chemistry between like every character is
Yeah.
like strong. Kind of like in a way that the first time I watched it, I was like, this show doesn't really have any business being this good. like this
No,
doesn't
100%.
like that's the
And after a
production value
while-
of this show is not good, and yet it's very
Yeah.
entertaining.
I want to say like they basically were about to cancel the show, and so like I can't remember if it was like the director of the show left or something. They basically just let the cast direct the show. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And so they just have like the 4 people are just like voting on what they want to do with the show. It's completely insane. But the best on-screen bromance, in my opinion, of all time. Like those 2 guys are. And I watched interviews with them. They are exactly those people off the show as well.
Right.
And they just are like the perfect best friends.
Yeah. That's one of those things that when you watch the show and then you hear about, like you said, like you watch interviews and things, every once in a while you just get like this kind of serendipitous thing where people who have no reason to come together just kind of randomly end up at the same place at the same time, and you just create this chemistry you could never have created otherwise, right? It's just, what do they call it? A Hieronymus machine, where it's just like, or Hieronymus machine, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like, the idea is like, it's a perfect thing, it happened once, you can't really have predicted it, it just occurred. It works really well.
Aaron, did you want to get to your other topic? I think we have some time if you want.
What's the other topic?
You posted it in the channel.
Oh, this is just for fun. Yep. So I dropped off my daughter at college about a week and a half ago, and have had no contact since because it's just kind of dad I am. Like, she'll figure it out if she needs something.
Not
she
a helicopter dad.
No, like whatever the opposite of that is. Yeah. So she texts my wife and I a picture which shows. So first of all, she took a semester off between high school and college because she finished high school early. We're always a little concerned that she's going straight into like tough calculus. But told her to like find study groups, find the smartest kid in class, give him favors, whatever she needs to do. So she sends us her first look of a screenshot of how she's doing in math, and she has a 14 out of 100 in math right now. Mm-hmm. And she sends us that screenshot along with a text that says, college is going splendidly. I'm like, oh my God. So I wrote back, #gulp. I'm like, oh lordy. So she then sends us a text minutes later, not immediately. She waits. And she's like, the system auto submits the homework as you're doing it. So she didn't actually have a 14 out of 100. That's just it submitting her partial homework. Mm-hmm. And then she sends us a screenshot of her actual college courses and says, this is how it's actually going. And it's a slide that says the 3 states of matter: solid, defined shape and volume, liquid, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, so basically kindergarten.
As a science teacher, I was appalled at that slide for many reasons. First off, there are 4 states of matter, and expecting a college student to not understand the 4th one is insane. The fact that it's not on there makes me very upset. I taught my 6th graders the 4th state of matter.
Is it plasma or is it wave?
Yes, plasma. You got it, plasma. Okay. And secondly, the look of that slide, that's just blue title, fucking Arial font, black and white. It just made me die a little bit inside.
Goddamn papyrus.
So I just look at that slide and I immediately went, ugh. So your reply of kindergarten is apt. Elementary school students know more than that slide implies. So yeah,
I don't know where my daughter got her sarcasm from, but I did not appreciate it for about 10 minutes yesterday.
Yeah. Is she taking like physics for poets or something? Like what class is that? Tell me this is something that they're lowballing.
She got rolled the athlete classes.
Yeah.
She is going into biomedical engineering.
Oh shit, this is not well.
and that is the intro chemistry.
Okay.
Well, I think at every funnel in education, there's are we on the same page here? Like months where they're like, are we like, cause like when you have feeder schools, they're all feeding into you. And the biggest one is obviously college when you have hundreds of high schools coming together to one school. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, not all of them are probably exactly the same. Cause like I've been in schools where they didn't expect you to know basic math. And cause we moved around a lot when I was a kid. And I've been in schools where like they expect you to do algebra in like 8th grade. And it's like, it's just different. Right. And so depending on where you're going, you'll have completely different, levels of aptitude at every level.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's usually like that. Let's ease them into it, and we'll find out who doesn't know anything really quick.
Sure.
And get them into a different class.
Yeah, that is true, I guess. And there are weed out classes I get, and there are non-weed out classes. Their classes are designed to be like organic chemistry is a big weed out class. It is arbitrarily difficult in almost every university, but regular Chem 1 is usually not. It's designed, like you're saying, Brandon, to be accessible. So it doesn't surprise me that they're making it more accessible, but it does. Kudos to your daughter for knowing how to put your minds at ease by picking that slide, because she recognized as soon as she saw it, do they think I'm a dumb shit? Like, and she doesn't feel like that. I'm glad she understands the very soft pitch softball they're doing right now. I'm proud of her, and I don't even know her that well. Well done.
All right, I want to bring something up that I was called out today. I don't know if you knew this, Parker. Aaron called me out today.
Oh, really?
Aaron, do you remember this?
I posted it.
Yeah, he added me in the MCP general chat. And I think he's misinterpreting my attempt to troll people on the podcast with me taking shots at him somehow.
I mean, you're trolling me pretty hard.
I'm letting Parker read it real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically I was like, well, we're putting Spider-Woman in here. Does that mean we should add her card, Double Agent? And then Josh went on a 10-minute explanation story of, well, actually, despite how good that card looks, it's actually really bad because it'll make you lose all your games. And then explains why Aaron completely destroyed him in one game. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, yeah, that's probably fair. And then I was like, I'm going to add it in. And so he freaked out. I was like, well, I understand.
And Josh just went with it. There was no more discussion. Yeah, you're like, fine. Okay, we're adding it. And then went on to the next card. And I'm taking a shower this morning, having an apoplectic seizure trying to listen to you guys.
Hold on. So, Aaron, you hate the card, convinced him it was bad, then played it against him. And
No, he played it. He played it. It was like, this card's going to be amazing. I'm like, you're going to lose your game because of it. I'm going to fuck your ass. Watch this. And then after the game, he's like, you were right.
Yeah.
No, I do think
there are a lot of cards that will get you in a lot of trouble if you don't understand when the right time to play them is. And another one is was it the first one for Apocalypse where you KO one of your own characters? You could definitely get in a bad spot with that. Heart of the Worthy, same thing. This card as well. You get to a spot where you basically end up losing priority for no reason. And that's obviously really bad. And so you definitely need to pay attention to what you're doing. But yeah.
I get it now. So Aaron, you were apoplectic because of how hard Brandon was ignoring the advice that you had given through him. I understand.
I didn't ignore it. I took it in. I weighed it, and then I
ignored
past it. Yeah, I didn't ignore it. I paid close attention to it. I decided
that's
it was
what you
worth
mean.
it.
Okay, yeah. You devalued it. Got it.
It wasn't devalued.
Okay, good grief.
I think I took out the lesson that he was telling me, which is that you should be very careful about how you use this card. And I said, you're right. That's warranted feedback. But I already knew that, so I'm going to put it in. I do think there are cards and just stuff in the game in general where people will just windmill slam it at first opportunity. And you're like, yeah, you don't understand how this works. And you just made this way worse for yourself. And that's definitely part of it. But yeah, I just want to bring that up. I thought it was hilarious when he posted it.
Nice. No, I understand.
Aaron, if you can come on to the MCP cast whenever you want, and you can bring this up live on the cast and yell at me in person. It's totally fine.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. Hopefully you guys had fun. This has been Brandon.
And Parker.
And Aaron.
And you just listened to Double Agent.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.